Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. The Brooklyn Nets have a lot to feel good about going forward because some of last season's drama has been erased. And if everybody is healthy and eligible to start the year, the Nets are looking at a new big three consisting of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons. On paper, it looks like a good team, but not a lot to make a run at an NBA champion. That, though, could happen if the Nets were to shake up their roster yet again, according to Bleacher Report's Greg Swartz. In a May 30 opinion piece, Swartz wrote that to become a no-brainer title contender, the Nets could consider unloading Simmons, who still hasn't played a single game with Brooklyn, for one of the league's top centers. In Swartz's proposed trade, the Nets would acquire Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert to create a new super team core of Durant, Irving, and Gobert. Going to the Jazz would be Simmons center Nick Claxton sign and trade, and the Nets' 23rd overall draft pick, which they got from the Philadelphia 76ers. Irvin and Durant could still be the Nets' primary playmakers and wouldn't have to worry about incorporating Simmons into the offense. Having Gobert, a three-time Defensive Player of the Year, as an anchor at center next to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving will be a huge improvement for a Nets team that will continually face players like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo, and Pascal Siakam in playoff runs. Swartz wrote, Gobert was also the NBA's best rebounder last season, averaging 15 per game to go along with his 16 points on a league best 71% shooting. He'd be a terrific lob threat for Irving, and this Nets team has enough shooting. Irving, Durant, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Patty Mills. That Gobert's lack of floor spacing on offense shouldn't be an issue. Of course, such a trade would break up the Jazz core of Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, a duo that has been knocked out of the Western Conference playoffs in the first round 3 times and the semifinals twice in their 5 years together. Responding to frequent speculations that a rift between Gobert and Mitchell exists, Mitchell said in April the two trust each other, according to Eric Walden of the the Salt Lake Tribune, and ESPN's Eric Windhorst reported on April 22nd. I have been told that Donovan and Rudy are in a better place now than they were earlier this year, and that there is a spirit of working together. While the Nets would get a defensive stalwart in the lineup, the Jazz would get one of the NBA's top players when he's healthy. Simmons hasn't played a game since May 14, 2021, as he recovered from a back injury. He was expected to make his season debut in time for the Eastern Conference playoffs and help the Nets' new Big Three lead Brooklyn deep into the postseason. But his reported focus on his mental health kept him out of uniform as the Nets were swept out of the first round of the playoffs by the Boston Celtics. Getting Simmons out of the big city spotlights of Philadelphia and New York in favor of Salt Lake City should help with his return to the court, Swartz wrote. Noting the Jazz frequently underwhelming perimeter defense, Swartz wrote that Simmons, who's averaged 2 steals per game across 4 seasons, would improve the Jazz. Simmons is arguably the best perimeter defender in the league when healthy. It's easy to see head coach Quinn Snyder using Simmons in a Draymond Green-like role in the starting lineup with Mike Conley Jr., Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, and now Claxton as the team's starting center, Swartz wrote. While Claxton isn't nearly the defensive force and rebounder that Gobert is, he's still just 23 and could be signed for a fourth of the salary. Gobert, who'll be 30 when the new season starts, will enter the second year of a 5-year, $205 million contract. Meanwhile, 23-year-old Claxton is set to make $2.2 million in the final year of his rookie deal. He had his best year as a pro in 2021-22, scoring 9 points a game and pulling down 6 rebounds in 21 minutes a game. A starting lineup of Irving, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Durant, and Gobert could definitely be something other teams worry about. Now, do I believe any of this hypothetical BS that's going on? Hell no. And to me, I do not see it. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. To me, why would you trade for Rudy Gobert? You're gonna trade for a guy who continuously gets punked in the playoffs? Listen, all of this stuff is BS. All of this stuff is nothing but media mumbo jumbo. Listen, nobody is going to take Ben Simmons' contract. Why would you take it? This is a guy who has quit on his team the past year or two. And now you're trying to reward this guy with a contract? You gotta be out your mind. So I wouldn't take this for nothing, not even a grain of salt. To me, it's like this. The Brooklyn Nets, all they have to do, they're not going to be able to get rid of Ben Simmons. Nobody wants that contract. They're not going to pay for a guy who's mentally weak and who's soft and who hasn't played in what, 2 years? I mean, a year maybe or two almost. It's like, come on, it's no disrespect, man, but look, to me, the guy, they want to try to get him out of there. Okay, Rich Paul and them they're not gonna allow their client to go to Utah. He wants to be in Cali. He wants to be in that type of lifestyle. All this is allegedly, and everything they're talking about with the trades hypothetically. But let's say hypothetically Rudy Gobert goes to Brooklyn. Would that make them better defensively and rebounding wise? Absolutely. They'll be a tough team to beat. But guess what they're still missing? A point guard. Kyrie, and we saw what they do when they got to be the playmakers. Right? We see what they got to be when they're the playmakers. They're trash. Kyrie and KD are scorers. They're scorers. They get the ball, they put it in the hoop. You need to get you a point guard. And we still don't even know if Kyrie's going to opt into the deal. We still waiting for that. We are still waiting for that. Do we know that he's going to opt into the deal? So that's what I'm saying. We don't even know if he opt in yet. Kyrie's not even opt in yet. So that's what I'm saying. It's like they're making all these hypotheticals come together. And it's like, look, just leave it alone. We'll see, but in my opinion, this would be a dumb trade. Because Gobert, yeah, he'll help defensively, but you still don't have anybody to ball handle the offense, unless you're gonna turn Bruce Brown into your point guard. But let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. This was just some news that popped up, and I'm talking about it. Um, Thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you guys love what you hear, you can go to the description box, hit that Cash App link. That'll take you to my Cash App where you could yeah, tongue tied, where you could donate to the page and donate whatever your heart's desire. Whenever we have a live video or premiere video, you guys can super chat. And if you guys also, if you don't do those things, you can also leave a super thanks. So thank you for listening. We out. Deezy.